A new plan could close more than half the public schools in St. Louis, a move that would leave more buildings vacant than occupied.
As the city shrinks and student enrollment collapses tonight, the school board faces its most dramatic decision in decades. 5 on your Side's political editor Mark Maxwell shows us what's at stake.
Yeah, it's the sign of a shrinking city. Too many school buildings, not enough kids to fill them. We saw a similar push to close schools about a decade ago, and many of those school buildings still sit empty today. But they may just hold one powerful lesson left in them.
This isn't a story about spreadsheets or square footage. It's a story about what we used to be. A century ago, iconic architects built majestic cathedrals of education across St. Louis.
You have buildings that were built never to come down.
But dramatic decline came anyways, dragging enrollment to record lows. Now, St. Louis Public Schools propose closing 37 schools, more than half its buildings. But to a realtor,
Plenty of light, high ceilings, room to move around, materials that don't fall apart.
urban revival can only happen in the shadow of decline.
You're literally recreating a new thing inside an old shell.
She's done it before. Sandra Duganey sold several St. Louis public school properties a decade ago and sees this next chapter as a critical one.
For years, I have sold housing in the city intentionally and not moved out of the city intentionally. I believe the city is valuable.
This former public school now houses renters in lofts right next door to Solden High School, where 3 out of every 4 seats remains vacant, and outside, tornado damage. In its 58-page report, SLPS compared the May 16 twister to Hurricane Katrina's impact on public schools in New Orleans.
It's not hyperbole. In these neighborhoods, they had negative population momentum to begin with.
SLU demographer Ness Sandoval studies why people leave cities. He says the group of people leaving St. Louis fastest are parents with young kids.
You still have a lot of families in the city who can leave.
So better to make a painful decision now, he says, than sit and wait for indecision to make that decision for you. Besides, in a city surging with homelessness, surely someone could use the extra space.
You can convert these schools to housing.
But to others who've watched schools close and nothing come behind,
It's a series of bad choices.
there's more to consider here than just the bottom line.
The social dynamic is you're putting neighborhoods together who may be feuding. You're putting communities together where it will cause a safety issue.
A lot to consider. Tonight's board meeting is just the start here. Any final vote to close schools would come after several community meetings and listening sessions. If this plan moves forward, the first scheduled closures would start in the fall of 2026.